Hi, I'm Dr. Patty Ferris. I'm a board-certified dermatologist, and I'm your host for this episode of Skincare Confidential. We're coming to you live from the Science of Skin Summit, so this is very exciting for us. This is the end of a long year of culmination of bringing all the scientists, the researchers, and the manufacturers together to put on an educational event for healthcare professionals about the science behind skin and the science behind skin care. I am so happy today to have Britt Fallon here from New Beauty. She's here for the conference. She came to our Dermfluencer session this morning. And welcome, Britt.
Thank you so much for having me, Dr. Ferris. I am so thrilled to be here on behalf of New Beauty. We are a 20-year media outlet and magazine, and newbeauty.com is our website. I'm the director of beauty. I just celebrated my 13-year anniversary a couple weeks ago. So I have really seen the evolution of the brand, and I'm just so happy to be here as I think your first media guest ever at the summit.
You are. And, you know, we've never really had anybody from the media approach us, and we've never really gone out to encourage media. So I think my first question for you is, what made you decide to come to the summit?
So I am thrilled to be here because New Beauty is the beauty authority. We have established ourselves over the years as the beauty authority to really educate and empower our audience to make smart beauty decisions. And a lot of that is skincare based, and the Science of Skincare Summit is perfect for us. It's a way to see all of the KOLs that we write about on a daily basis in action, speaking on these fabulous panels that you all have curated. And, you know, we are writers and journalists and reporters, but there's so much to learn all the time. And what better place to do that than here at this summit? Many of our New Beauty partners are here. Our New Beauty Pro Derm partners, Dr. Doris Day, Dr. Ava Shamban, some past partners, and just seeing them in person, reconnecting, hearing everything that they're working on and studying right now, it just lights me up. I am just ecstatic to be here.
Well, thank you. And that's such a great sort of recap of your brand, your magazine, which has been so valued by dermatologists. It really has been, I would say, the most credible resource on topical skincare, on procedures. You know, you really have had a valued place in the dermatologist world.
Yes.
So thank you for that.
Yes, of course.
So important.
And also I know that there's estheticians involved here at the summit as well, which I'm not able to get into on this trip, but in the future, I would love to learn more about the different tracks and how the dermatologists are involved and the estheticians are involved at New Beauty. We're writing with both of those experts and working with them as resources all the time. And when I looked at the attendee list for this summit, it was really neat to see. It's almost like the pages of New Beauty are being brought to life.
Brought to life. Yeah.
And with all the different booths and seeing a lot of our brand partners here, it's just really fantastic.
Oh, that's so great. You know, we value the estheticians, and we have an incredible esthetician track, so they have their own learning experience, and they love learning from each other. And very early on, we were given advice by one of the estheticians who's in industry, works for a manufacturing company. She said, you ought to do something for estheticians. Ted and I are like, yes. Why not?
Yeah.
And they have become a huge part of this meeting. Some of them have their brands represented here. So, I mean, you know, they're movers and shakers in the skincare industry, without a doubt.
Of course.
Let's go again into some things. You know, you came for the social media for the Dermfluencer program. And, you know, market research shows that social media is playing a tremendous role in the skincare industry. 71% of global consumers reported that they discovered a new skincare product on social media. No surprise, particularly the Gen Zs and the millennials. I mean, this is really their search engine now. This is where they go for information on skincare. So how do you see the role of influencers? Talk to me about how you, as again, a very trusted source for information on beauty, look at the whole landscape of social media.
So as a journalist, the influencer space is interesting because we spend so much time fact checking and vetting all of our stories and all of our content before it goes live. So when the influencer, bubble became bigger and bigger, we were skeptical, and we still are skeptical. And I think that is a lot of what we learned today at the Dermfluencer panel that we just attended, is that there are a lot of influencers that have become household names. And the influencers really are the tastemakers of this generation. They are the home shopping network of today, right? They're there to entice you. We have TikTok shop. We have affiliate marketing everywhere. And, but it's really, it comes down to who are you trusting? And I think that, we thought the influencer bubble was maybe going to pop about 5-6 years ago, and it hasn't. It's only become larger and larger. And I think one of the really interesting things is that we're not only seeing this success that influencers can bring brands, we're seeing products sell out constantly when they're talked about by a major influencer, but we are also seeing the downside where an influencer can take a brand down with one post, posting about a shortcoming that they found with the brand, a wrong shade. And we've seen brands completely collapse because of that. So there's
the power of the influencer.
It's very, very powerful.
Wow. That's incredible. That's so interesting. I've not heard that before.
Oh,
but
yes.
I guess the positive comments go one direction and the negative comments can certainly go the other way.
Exactly. Very
so
powerful.
Interesting. So, how do you differentiate? I mean, we heard a lot today in that session. And by the way, we had so many great influencers in there. They were all derm influencers. But how do you differentiate between, the skin care influencers and then the dermfluencers?
So I love this question because skincare influencers and, just beauty and lifestyle influencers overall, it's a cautionary tale for me because I get questions from my social circle and my friends all the time. And they're like, oh, so-and-so big influencer loves this product and I'm going to buy it. And I said, well, hold on a second. She's like her, a mommy blogger from middle America. And it's great that she loves that product, but has she tested it against the competition? Does she have any credentials in skincare? Is she a board certified dermatologist? Does she have an esthetician license? Like what does this person bring to the table? Why are you taking her opinion so seriously?
Right.
And with dermfluencers, those are the people that are really the biggest voice that we should be listening to in this space. I think that if you like what you see the other influencers using, go and check that against a dermfluencer, and maybe you'll be surprised. Maybe they like it, maybe they don't. But if I was looking for a skincare product, I would 100% choose a dermfluencer's recommendation over any other influencer on social media all the time. If it's makeup, sure. Sally says it's great. Go
I'm
for
gonna
it.
try it.
But if it's skincare, trust the individuals who are in the treatment room every day, seeing patients. They're also not just seeing patients, but they're traveling the world, going to conferences. They know what's worth the hype and what's not. They also know what's coming next. They know the contraindications of certain skincare ingredients. That's who you want to trust. You want the credentials. They went to medical school for a reason, and they're the ones that you should be getting advice from.
Yeah. And we heard so much about it today, about dispelling the myths, and there was discussion of the ethical ramifications of being a dermfluencer and, staying true to your medical background. And I agree. I mean, I follow a lot of my friends and they give such great advice. Some of the feeds are just so rich with scientific information.
And you know what else I think is really, really cool is that as a journalist, I am looking to these board certified derms on social, these dermfluencers, actually for ideas for my content. Like their reach is so powerful and so wide. And in the panel today, I was just sitting there, looking at Dr. Liu, Jenny Liu, and looking at Dr. Doris Day. And Dr. Day inspired an entire story that I wrote on New Beauty. She has a really great post I suggest everybody check out. And it says, the life-changing habits I made after age 50. And I took that and I said, well, what if we went out to other dermatologists and asked them what are their life-changing habits they made after 50? And it became a really viral post for us.
Wow.
And it was really neat because it expanded beyond skincare. Some of the derms were like, I stopped drinking alcohol. I started doing this. And it's just so comprehensive, but their content, it spirals into other content. And I thought that was really neat about the panel today. It's like, how can you're becoming a dermfluencer, but you don't even realize that your reach is inspiring so many other things.
Right.
Besides,
I interviewed Doris a couple of weeks ago on menopause because, she's very big on that. And we had a great conversation. But something she said today on the podium that I really thought was thoughtful, she said, quit racking your brain for ideas. Your office is full of patients asking questions every day and all day. It's like a constant flow of questions. So she's like, the material's right in front of you. And it's so true. As a dermatologist, you're just fending off questions all day long.
Right. And I loved what they also said during the panel. I think it was Dr. Day or Dr. Zubritsky that said that, the things that we think, and especially even myself being a beauty editor for 15 plus years, the things that we think, the stories that have been told over and over that we think are just common knowledge, the average person probably doesn't feel that way.
True.
So, I think that that's a great point as well, is that there's just a constant flow of education to be had. And thanks to these dermfluencers, we have a trusted source.
Yeah. And you can see just by the response, how many people were in that room listening. And, everybody's on social media. I mean, you have to be on social media now. So I just thought it was so well done and so thoughtfully done. And we have to thank Aven. They've sponsored it 2 years in a row for us. We're eternally grateful to them.
Yes.
They brought this program to life. Mimi Banks.
And
I mean, it's a really
Lisa Morris.
Yes, Lisa Morris. And I mean, it's fantastic.
Yes, thank you to
so
the
grateful.
event team. They're the reason that I'm also here in attendance as the first media outlet. They realized that there were stories to be told from today's panel and from the show in general. And I 100% agree. So I'm just so happy. And that we're meeting for the first time as well.
It's so great. Well, we'll hope you'll be back next year.
Yes.
Let's just talk for 1 second before we wrap. I know you are on the cutting edge of the whole industry. What do you really see trending that you find really interesting? Where do you see us going?
Well, that is what I love so much about my job. The reason I've stayed in the beauty space for so long is the innovation. It really is just, there's so much that the U.S. hasn't even, we're on the cusp of it. And I'm excited to see where we're headed. And I think there's a few things that I'm really excited about. The first one being this regenerative skincare space and exosomes and secretomes.
Yes.
Then the longevity conversation we're having now and all these growth factors and proteins and what they can do for our skin to help it act younger. I'm in my late 30s and that's something that I'm very looking forward to learning about more and how I can do that for my own skin. They're actually banking these stem cell follicles from your hair and we're going to, be able to access those later on to look younger. I mean, it's fascinating stuff. And then also the sunscreen filter conversation. I feel like a lot of people are talking about that here today. I heard some chatter in the show and we could potentially be getting a new filter maybe in 2027, fingers crossed. And, we constantly write about how the U.S. is very behind compared to the EU and Australia.
Really behind.
Yes. So I'm excited about that.
Yes. And thank you for covering that subject. It's so important to us as dermatologists. In fact, the scientist who's bringing the new filter in is here at the meeting.
Yes.
So we're super excited to have him here. And he's slugging it out at the FDA, which is what you have to do to get a sunscreen approved in the United States.
It's been over 20 years since there was
We're 20 years without a new filter. It's unbelievable. But you guys have done such a great job. Prevention is everything.
Yes.
The things that I think are interesting, I agree with you 100% on the regenerative and longevity play. Fascinating. But we're really entering an era of hyper personalized skincare. I mean, people don't really want to use what their friends use. They really want me. And artificial intelligence is going to play a huge role in that.
Yes, that was one of my other bullet
comment?
points.
Yeah.
Yes, is the AI apps, the skin diagnostic app.
So cool.
So I know La Roche-Posay has one, L'Oreal,
Neutrogena's got one.
Yes, and Elemis has one, and Vichy has one. I think there's so many of them. And I will just say as well, though, that is a space that requires investment because we have played around with them at New Beauty. We've had a lot of team members try them, and there's still a lot of areas for refinement in terms of skin of color and certain diagnostics. It's
For
not,
sure.
it does need, but this is the early stage, and I'm really excited to see where it goes. So AI skin diagnostic is going to be a fascinating area of exploration for the future.
It's changing everything in medicine and in skincare. We even see companies using AI to cull through ingredients, to pick out ingredients. It's just fascinating.
And Dr. Zubritsky was talking about AI today for helping to generate social content, going to AI to say, what are the trends on TikTok right now? And in 2 seconds, 1 second, you can get a list. Right. So for anybody who's listening that's interested in a little bit of what was talked about on the panel today, it was really trying to be strategic with ChatGPT and the other AI diagnostic tools to learn more about how you can build your own platform.
That's so smart. That is a great idea. I'm a Perplexity girl myself. I literally live for Perplexity.
Yes,
I don't even Google anymore. Do you Google?
No, I know
everything.
I know, but we were saying that all the AI diagnostics, when you get those Google results now, and we want to see the sources highlighted a little bit more too, because it gives you the little link to click.
Yeah.
But I want the credit to come to the places where it's due. So that will come with time.
Right.
But it's nice to see New Beauty in some of those skincare searches in the AI overview.
There are a lot of things that
it.
I search. It's amazing.
I love it. Yeah.
Well, listen, I cannot thank you enough for being here. We're so honored to have New Beauty here and to have you here. And you really just did an incredible job. So thank you very much for that.
Thank you so much for having me. This is a fantastic summit and podcast, and it's an honor to be amongst so many wonderful people in this community.
Thank you. So for everybody who's listening, thank you so much. I hope you enjoyed this episode of Skincare Confidential. If you like our podcast, please subscribe, give us a review, and tune in next time.